Hey y'all, hey. So we on day 2. We are going to maintain everything. I got my handy dandy spray bottle, spring water in it. Mic check. Okay, they're both on. Put about a cap full of peroxide in it. Peroxide helps cut down on the mold. Amaranth doesn't like to be too wet, but the seeds are dry. So I'm going to spritz that a little bit. Ooh, my little bottle cutting up. So I'm going to put that back on my little plant shelf. I started some basil microgreens because I love micro basil. Basil, it gets that gelatinous coating around it when it's wet. So I'm just going to spray that 2 times because it clearly is still wet. But we want to make sure it doesn't dry out today. Sometimes when your seeds dry out, it's hard to get them going again. So we're going to put this back on the plant shelf. That's our amaranth and our micro basil. You want to rinse your sprouts 2 to 3 times a day. I put a lot of water in them, make sure they get good and saturated. And then I swish them around till I get that little funnel in there to make sure nothing is stuck together. When the seeds stick together, that's when you're likely to get mold. So you want to swirl them around, make sure all your seeds are moving, pour that water on off. Put it in your house plants or something. Water is life. Then once again, you want to just roll them around the jar to spread them out so they're not all up on themselves. If they're too bunched together, that promotes mold also. So you definitely want to spread them out. Put them back on your little stand so they're inverted. Is that in the frame? There we go. So I got this handy dandy little stand and I just put those on there. This is going back to the plant stand. Now, our sourdough starter. This is day 2. Day 1, we just put in a tablespoon of rye flour and a tablespoon of spring water. Today, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put in a tablespoon of flour, tablespoon of spring water. Oops, that was way more than a tablespoon, y'all. I don't know how I just did that. So I'm going to have to eyeball it a little bit. It's probably going to be a little over a tablespoon that I have to put in there. You're looking for consistency. You want like a thick pancake batter. And speaking of, I did get the King Arthur flour from when I started baking. The King Arthur unbleached whole wheat bread flour. So I put those in glass. I'm transferring everything over to glass because microplastics are a mug. I got the rye flour in this one, but I had a little bit more left in the bag. So that's what I'm going to use for the starter. So I'm going to put a heaping tablespoon in there since I dropped extra water. And they did say it's okay to use metal in your sourdough starter. I do have silicone, but I forgot to bring it in here today. So yes, I'm mixing. It is a little thin, so I'm going to put a little bit more, probably like a half a tablespoon in there since I dropped extra water in there. Ooh. Put 1 squirt of water because that is a little thick. Need a runny pancake consistency. This about how much supposed to go in there tomorrow. but I'm a day, I'm a day ahead, I guess. So I was just supposed to add 1 tablespoon flour, 1 tablespoon water. Looks like I went ahead and doubled that up. I poured too much in there, but sourdough starter is very forgiving. Put the top on it loosely. Now I'm going to take that sourdough starter. I'm going to move it because of what I'm doing next. You cannot do sourdough starter, kombucha, ginger bugs, all that stuff in the same area. The yeast, the scobies, the things that you are growing, they will cross contaminate, cross pollinate, whatever you call it, cross contaminate. They will. So I'm going to put the sourdough starter in the kitchen. My ginger bug is going to go in the living room. So we got our sourdough starter nice and safe in the kitchen, away from anything that can cross-contaminate it. We are growing scobies. They are living organisms. We don't want the scobies to cross-contaminate anything else. So for our ginger bug, I roughly chopped a little over 3 tablespoons of ginger. Got our handy dandy wide mouth jar. You do want to make sure it's dry because chlorinated water will stop it from doing the magic. You need no chlorine in your water. So we're going to dump the ginger. We're going to do 3 heaping teaspoons of sugar. Since I did heaping tablespoons, I mean not teaspoons. Since I did heaping tablespoons of ginger, we're going to do 3 heaping tablespoons of sugar. Now, my sugar looks different because I do the cane sugar. But this recipe specifically calls for white sugar. It ferments the ginger much better. So I bought some white sugar, dumped it on top. When it's gone, it's gone. This is already a tablespoon in here. 1, 2, 3. Now the ginger is going to eat the sugar. It's going to create yeast. It's going to eat the yeast. And that's how we end up with our fermented ginger bug after about 7 days. So I just switched the sugar around on the ginger. You want to add 2 cups of water to your quart jar. Spring water is best because it has things in it that already want to react with the chemical process going on. So if you can, use spring water. If not, filter out your tap water and let it stand open for 24 hours and the chlorine dissipates. So creating your ginger bug is simple. Equal parts ginger, equal parts sugar, some nice spring water or some filtered water that's let the chlorine go out for 24 hours. You mix in the sugar real good. Then you grab your handy dandy cheesecloth. They sell it at Walmart, not expensive at all. Grab you some cheesecloth, put it over the top because it has to breathe. It has to breathe. If you close it, you're going to have some explosions going on. It builds up gas really, really quick. So I'm going to cap that. Going to finish shaking it up to dissolve my sugar because I forgot my silicone spatula for the video. And then I'm going to go set this in the living room. Your ginger bug, you feed it daily for 7 days. So for the next 7 days, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of ginger, 1 tablespoon of sugar. Stir it up, cap it just like this again. Let it sit in the living room and do its thing. Between days 5 through 7, you're going to notice a lot of bubbles, a lot of cloudiness, the smell. You can smell the fermentation. Then it's going to be good to start using to make your ginger ale or your ginger beer, or you can make sodas with it. You take fresh fruit or fruit juice and mix it with it to make sodas. Like, it is so dope. I just poured out my one I had from 2 years ago because it was 2 years old. I could have revived it, but I just wanted to go ahead and make another one for the video's sake anyway. So, yep, that's our ginger bug. We're going to keep it at the opposite end of the house from the sourdough starter so they won't cross contaminate. Once again, put peroxide on your microgreens so they won't mold. Keep your sourdough starter away from your kombuchas or your ginger buds. And put anything you can in glass because microplastics kill. Y'all have a beautiful day. Bye.